As Jesus was preparing to leave his disciples and ascend to his Father in heaven, he tells them in Acts chapter 1 in verse 8 that you will receive power from the Holy Spirit to be my witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea and Samaria, and to the uttermost parts of the world. For 135 years, TMCBC has been a part of this lineage of receiving the Holy Spirit and being witnesses of the great goodness of God across the world and right here at home as well. And so today we celebrate 135 years of history, 135 years of incredible achievements by the power of the Holy Spirit. There's been so many incredible things that we've been able to accomplish here at our church. It starts out from our very own founding pastor, who is one of many in a line of educated clergy who have come to the post of leading this great church. And there's so many more things. Let's check them out.
Good morning, Mount Carmel. I'm here to just tell you something briefly on our history, on some things you just might not know. On June the 23rd, 1922, 6th Street Baptist Church under the name of St. Luke's Baptist Church was organized. Not many people knew that the church first members and its pastor came from TMCBC. The church was named by Catholic, who at the time was editor at St. Luke's Herald. The paper was owned by Mrs. Maggie Walker. Reverend Cathy became our second pastor 6 months after the passing of Reverend White. Under Cathy's 10-year tenure as pastor, the church accomplished much, including the burning of the first mortgage for the 1303 North 1st Street location. However, controversy arose. Regardless, 6th Street's connection to Mount Carmel is forever cemented.
Music has always been a huge part of culture and the worship here at TMCBC. In fact, did you know that our first location, located at 1303 North 1st Street in the Jackson Ward area of our city, we were home to one of the most majestic organs created in the early 20th century, a Mueller organ. And then we decided, hey, we want to upgrade our organ. And so we donated that Mueller organ to the Richmond branch of organists located in Taiwan. Can you believe a piece of Mount Carmel exists even in Far East Asia? That's an incredible testament to our witness spreading across the world. Let's learn a little bit more about the great things that TMCBC has done.
TMCBC family, I'm here to tell you something else that you might not have known about the Mount Carmel Baptist Church. While TMCB has been located at 3200 East Broad Street for over 6 decades, the church had a prior home which had been the talk of the town, 1303 North 1st Street. The church had been growing exponentially at the turn of the century, and much more space was needed. So in 1904, the cornerstone of the beloved building was laid by Prince Hall Henrico Lodge of Masons. The structure was described as a brick building with Gothic architecture. There was a balcony above the entrance of the auditorium and a choir loft to the left of the pulpit. Cream and mahogany trim complemented the rows of the mahogany pews. From November of 1904 to 1958, this building was the epicenter of many great events, including concerts, religious plays, and community gatherings.
Education has always been an important through line here at TMCBC. In fact, our pastor emeritus, the late Reverend Dr. E.D. McCreary, was the first chair of African American Studies at Mount Holyoke University located in Massachusetts. This was major as he was key for not only teaching African American studies to those at this school that was founded as a women's only seminary, but also he encouraged other black professors and scholars to join him in the work as well. I'm telling you, we got our tentacles everywhere. God is using us in many different spaces. Let's learn more.
In the Baptist faith, in the past, the diaconate ministry consisted of deacons, who were men, and deaconess, who were ladies, who supported the pastor with services and ceremonies. As time passed, some churches thought fewer men were devoted to the faith. and thought that the tradition of men only being deacons should end. Others saw that it was time for equality in the roles of the churches. Still, others claimed that the Bible did not support women being deacons. In this controversy, the Mount Carmel Baptist Church, under the leadership of Dr. Edward Daniel McCrary, in 1976, ordained Rebecca T. Madison as its first female deacon. Deacon Madison will forever be in the history books. She was also the first female deacon of the Deacons Conference of Richmond and vicinity. As women joined the deacons ministry, churches began to expand and accept women in other leadership roles, including the clergy.
When I think about racism, and on the topic of racism, Freeman once said, unless something is done to stem the tide, we're going to be suffering for a long time. The late Dr. Thomas F. Freeman started teaching debate at Texas Southern University in 1949 and was still teaching at the age of 100. During his long esteemed career, he taught Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Congresswoman Barbara Jordan and Congressman Mickey Leland. Freeman also coached two-time Oscar winner Denzel Washington and the cast of the Wiley College chronicling film, The Great Debaters. One of Freeman's most lasting lessons is that we can always accept is that the truth always prevails. So to the folks at TMCBC, Freeman was our beloved sixth pastor who baptized some of our current members and counsel others as youth.
All right, so this one right here is a little personal for me, right? Because you know your pastor is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, whose colors are crimson and cream. But when I got here, I learned that the church's colors were black and gold. And as I look back through the church history, so many of our pastors have been a part of a great fraternity that is a part of the Divine Nine, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, which was founded in December of 1906 on the campus of Cornell University. We celebrate all of our fraternities and sororities, and even that culture is a part of our church in our church history. But it's still yo baby yo.
Supply pastors were clergymen without a formal installation who served a congregation as its acting pastor. And in our more modern times, we call these devoted servants interim pastors. However, throughout Mount Carmel's history, there have been a number of devoted men who served Mount Carmel with this title. The very first was Reverend John L. Wood, who served Mount Carmel devotedly, who was a student at Virginia Union University. Wood preached so regularly at the Mount Carmel Baptist Church that in 1939 he was called to be the fourth pastor. Two other notable supply pastors who led the church, Thomas F. Freeman in 1944 and Rosamond Cady in 1945. Eventually, both were installed as the church's pastors in 1946 and 1951 respectively.
Listen, we've learned so much more this year about the great history of our church. And our history keeps us connected as we move forward to do great things in the future. TMCBC has always been a center of culture for the city, hosting great events. It's been a place where people can come and learn and grow under pastors who are educated. It has been a place of musical excellence, a place that is a trendsetter and a pioneer in the journey, as we were the first to ordain female deacons here in the city of Richmond. TMCBC sets the pace, sets the course, and by the power of the Holy Spirit, for the next 135 years, we will keep doing just that. Happy birthday, TMCBC. Happy 135th church anniversary. Let's go higher in the power of the Holy Spirit.